Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Nadir Abdul Haq. I'm also known as Don, right, for short for my real name. There's there's tons of stuff I can say, right? But there's just something real brief I want to say about Muslims, right? For one, we're not terrorists. Now, there is Muslims that are extremists and things of this nature. So let me clarify this. That if you do your history, your research, right, there are 71 different types of Jews. There's 72 different types of Christians and 73 different types of Muslims. Y'all don't know that, did y'all? Y'all think a Muslim is a Muslim. SubhanAllah. Right? So, I am a Muslim that practices the Salafiyah, which means I follow Allah, His Messenger Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and the companions and the generations to follow, right? Which also means that I believe in all the prophets from Adam to Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, which also means I believe in Isa, Musa, and tons of others, right? For you Christians that don't know, as a Muslim, we believe that in the days to come, in the days of resurrection, right? And on the day of Yom Kippur, that Allah is sending Isa, you know him as Jesus, right? Back to slay the Dajjal. Now the reason why he's bringing back Isa and not Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is because Allah allowed the people to think that Isa Alayhi Salam was sacrificed, and he wasn't. He rose into the heavens alive. He's the only prophet from Adam to Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that did not die. All right. So let me clarify. I just wanted to clarify that. All right. Number two, for all the Muslims and non-Muslims, there's a such thing as a white Muslim. Right. Now me, I'm Irish, Italian, German, Scottish, and Cherokee. But looking at the skin complexion, I'm white. Right. According to the United States, I'm Caucasian. So for all the non-Muslims, right, who don't know, but also especially to the Muslims, there is white Muslims. And the reason why I'm saying this is, for example, when I first came home and started hanging around the inner harbor, and I'm salamming Muslims or Muslimans, right, or Muslims, however you want to say it, right? Some looked at me like I was crazy. Some give me lesser greetings. All this. So for all you Muslims and Muslimas that don't know, when another Muslim salams you, you give them an equal or greater greeting. So if I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, or you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Equal or greater. If I say Assalamu alaikum, then you say Wa alaikum salam, or Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah, Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh, and so on and so on. So let me clarify that. And please, I beg you, male and female Muslims, study. Rather you on the streets or you in prison, study. Because there's a lot of things that's being done that's so incorrect. Again, I posted a video of over 20,000 Muslims in the convention center down in Baltimore. And you can look from that video and see how many Muslims don't even know how to offer salah correctly. I wouldn't bring the phone into the bathroom, but if I shown you how many brothers did not perform a istinja, which is obligatory for your wudu to be accepted, as well as for your wudu to be accepted, for your salah to be accepted, you must perform wudu. So how is your wudu accepted if you didn't perform a istinja? These are all conditions. Istinja must be performed. One of the conditions, istinja is one of the conditions for your wudu to be accepted, and wudu is a condition to be accepted for salah. So just to clarify, seek knowledge. Please seek knowledge. Right? And again, for all you guys out there, Muslim, male and female, there is a such thing as a white Muslim. So if someone salams you, right, and if you're not sure if they are Muslim or not Muslim, you know what you should do? Ask, are you Muslim, brother? I had a Muslim. I salammed her. She said, oh, you've been practicing, huh? That's nice. You trying to learn the language? I said, what? I said, sister, I'm Muslim. It's obligatory for me to seek knowledge. She said, you Muslim? Yeah, I'm Muslim. So there is white Muslims, right? And one last thing to all y'all out there. we do not believe, as Muslims, we don't, no, let me rephrase that. As far as a Muslim that practices the Salaf, that's upon the Salaf, following the law, Muhammad, their companions, the generations to follow, right? Sheikhs and scholars, things of that nature, right? My kind of Muslims, which is also believed to be the safe set, which means the ones that's going to Jannah paradise, right? Do not believe in killing unjustly. Do not believe in killing women and children. None of this. So, please, stop thinking we terrorists. Please, do your research. Stop being ignorant and just running your face. Stop being ignorant and just think what you want to think. Right? And that goes with everybody. Forget about just put the Muslim thing aside. It's for everybody. Yo, if you hate black people, stop saying you hate black people. Because not all black people jacked up. If you hate white people, stop saying you hate white people. Because not all white people jacked up. If you say you hate the police, stop saying you hate the police. Because not all police are jacked up. You know what I'm saying? We need to understand. Yeah, it's cool to be cautious. Always be cautious. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when you see a brother performing things of hypocrisy, right? Or things that are signs of being a hypocrite, right? You're still not supposed to cast takfir upon that person. To say that they are a hypocrite, they're a hypocrite. You're just supposed to proceed with caution. And if you have the nasiha, right, the sincere advice that you can give, well, let me rephrase that. If you have the hikmah, right, the wisdom, right, to give them nasiha, which is sincere advice, then do so. And just for all y'all out there say, you're a good Muslim, minds his own business. Guess what? A good Muslim, it's obligatory upon a Muslim that if you have knowledge of a thing, right, to correct your Muslim brother. And if you don't, right, you will be punished. Now, let me add something to that before we go on. There's conditions upon that. The only condition that exempts you from telling a Muslim brother, right, giving him nasiha, right, to warn him, right, is if you know for a fact that this brother will kill you for warning him. Now, if you do not know that your life is going to be in jeopardy, it is obligatory upon you to say something. And if you don't, you'll be punished. And if you do, you'll be rewarded. Right? And that's where it comes upon wajib. So for those who don't know, wajib means obligatory. Right? There's a long video right here. Right? This is it for right now. I'll talk about some more stuff later on down the road, whatever it can be. But there's just a couple random things in my mind. I got nothing else to do. Chilling. You know what I mean? Just came home from work a little while ago. So I figured I'd hit y'all up with something and see what happens. You know what I mean? This is new to me. I never even did this stuff before. I mean, the little video thing on YouTube. So we'll see what happens. All right. Hope y'all stay focused. No matter where you from, who you are, Muslim, non-Muslim. Oh yeah, one more thing. Muslims don't hate non-Muslims. So if you're Christian, Jew, nothing, you believe in Satan, we don't hate you. Right? As a Muslim, anything that you do, right, that's disobedient to what we believe in, like homosexuality, right? Or worshiping Jesus, or worshiping Moses, or worshiping the dirt, or worshiping a tree, right? Or beating a woman, or stabbing someone for no damn reason, selling drugs, using drugs. Things that Allah has said that's forbidden, right? When we see these things from a Muslim or non-Muslim, we're supposed to hate these things in our heart, right? Not hate the person, but hate the act itself. So you may love me because I'm your Muslim brother, but then say one day I'm walking down the street and you see me smoking weed, or I'm snorting coke, or I'm slapping a woman. You should feel some type of way towards me. You should, one, get the knowledge of what the hell is going on, the situation, right? Then, from that, understand the condition of what's going on, give me the proper nasiha, right? And hate in your heart what I did. Hate the act of what I did, not me, hate the act. So for those out there who don't worship Allah, we don't hate you, we hate the fact that you don't worship Allah. For those out there who are drugging, thugging, beating on women, we don't hate you, we just hate the fact that you're drugging, thugging, and beating on women. So I don't want to clarify that too. A Muslim's not supposed to hate somebody, just supposed to hate the act that you do that's disobedient to Allah, right? And we also supposed to love, right, for the sake of Allah. So if you do something, and it's in the sense of you walk by and you smile towards me, whether you're Muslim or non-Muslim, in Islam we believe that smiling is a form of charity. So we smile. So if you smile at me, I would love you for the sake of Allah because you're doing something. But at the same sense, we're supposed to love for the sake of Allah and hate for the sake of Allah. Hate for the sake of Allah, love for the sake of Allah. Right? And that's according to what's Quran and Sunnah. Alright? So, and that's long, you gotta understand. Oh yeah. And one more thing, right? So if anyone ever decides to study Islam or check into Islam, let me explain this. In the Bible, right, say me, Jim, Bob, and Joe, right? We all read the same verse in the Bible, right? Don't matter what verse it is. We all read the same verse. I may say, right, this verse means such and such to me. Jim may say, well, yo, that reminds me of a buddy of mine who da-da-da-da, and this is what it means to me. Joe might be like, hey, man, yo, that reminds me of yesterday, you know what I'm saying? And what I think it means is that this is what's in our future, right? We don't have that in Islam, right? It says in the Quran, which the Quran is the speech of Allah, right? Just to clarify that, right? This is the speech of Allah. It's not a book that man wrote or anything like that, man made. The Quran is the speech of Allah, right? So Allah says in the Quran, which translated to mean, right, that on this day I have perfected your religion, bestowed it upon you, and chosen Islam for you. Which means, right, that there's nothing that man can add or take away from this religion. Nothing. If you see 10 Muslims and they're all 5 are gay, 2 are drinking, 2 are drugging, and 1's being a great Muslim, right? That don't change Islam. Allah done perfected this religion, which He stated in the Quran. So all because you see a Muslim doing something or not doing something, or good or bad, right, does not change what this belief system's about. Just so you know, right? And to clarify again, we have a thing called tafsir, right? What it is the tafsir explains every single ayat, right? Or for those who don't know what ayat is, you could say verse, right? In the Quran. So say, like for instance, I just told you that there's a verse in the Quran, ayat in the Quran, right? That says that Allah says, which translates to mean that on this day I perfected your religion, bestowed it upon you, chosen Islam for you. So you can go to a tafsir and I'll explain to you exactly what that means, word for word. Now, with that being the sense, man, me, you, or anybody else, cannot read that and paraphrase it. Make our own interpretation. Well, you know, that sounds good, but I think it means, no, we don't do that, right? All Muslims are supposed to do is hear and obey. You study Islam, study the Quran, study Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, study his companions, read what the sheikhs and scholars wrote, things of this nature. And all you have to do as a Muslim is hear and obey. That's it. It ain't for us to lean on our own understanding. Well, why this, why that, all this, that. No, it's none of it. If Allah didn't tell us, right, there ain't no need to know. How you say you're on a need to know basis? Well, guess what? You only need to know what Allah allows you to know. Simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less. That's all you need to survive. What He tells you, that's it. You know what I mean? Hear and obey. Right? And if you don't have an answer to something, guess what? You're not God. You're not Allah. So you're not going to have all the answers to life. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to have all the... Well, why did you let my car break down? I don't know. Right? I don't know why you let your car break down. But guess what? There ain't no reason to start cursing Allah and try to figure it out. No, subhanAllah. Right? So, that's just a couple of random things I've been wanting to say for a long time. You know what I mean? And a lot of things that I've seen, you know, on the news and stuff like that over the years. Like a couple years back, some bombing was going on around Christmas, and a Muslim had said, well, I don't know if he's Muslim. He said he was a Muslim. He said, man, we shouldn't be bombing and killing people this Christmas time. I thought it was something like, what? You're Muslim and you're on TV. You need to be saying we shouldn't be bombing and killing people because we're Muslim and we're not supposed to be bombing and killing people. Simple as that. Not, we shouldn't be bombing people. It's Christmas time. SubhanAllah. Right? And may Allah rectify that brother's heart. Right? And then give him knowledge of his belief system. Right? And his deen, his way of life. Ameen. Alright, so that's just a couple of things. Later on down the road, I might send something, I might not send something. So, man, I hope y'all alright. I hope all y'all, Muslim, non-Muslim, is focused. Oh, and another thing. One more thing. For everyone, remember I talked about earlier how I said that everyone thinks that we, like Muslims, like, we hate you if you're not Muslim and all that stuff. Check this out. For one, Allah makes Muslims. You know how, and Christians, I'm not picking on you when I say this, just listen to me, right? You know how you guys go out in the streets and you preach, right? And people be like, yo, it's the Holy Ghost running through me, I touched him, da, da, da. I'm just making an example. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just making an example, right? And you believe that, oh, Jesus hit your heart, blah, 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 because I did this, I did that. No. We believe as Muslims that Allah makes Muslims. I can go out there and preach every bit of Quran or Sunnah or whatever the case may be to whoever I want to do it all day long, drill it down your throat, and guess what? You're not going to become Muslim unless Allah deems you to become Muslim. Right? So, if you don't believe me, right, check this out. Men yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Right? That means whomsoever Allah guides, none can misguide him, and whomsoever Allah allows to be misguided, none can guide him. You get that? That means if Allah deems someone to be Muslim, there's nothing that no one on this earth can do to stop that person from becoming a Muslim. And if Allah says, listen, this person is never going to become a Muslim, there's nothing anyone on this whole earth can do to make that person a Muslim. So, you can say a couple of different things. If you are Muslim or non-Muslim, mashallah khara. Whatever Allah wills is good. Or I could say, for anyone who is, if you are Muslim or non-Muslim, right? Alhamdulillah. All praise is due to Allah. Because Allah makes Muslims. So if you're Muslim, alhamdulillah. If you're not a Muslim, alhamdulillah. Right? Me personally, I'm a Muslim. I believe that Islam, right, following the Salaf, is the truth. I don't know, Prophet Muhammad takes it, right? I believe it's the truth. And inshallah, all you get guided to Islam and become Muslim. Now, it states in the Quran that's not going to happen. But, inshallah, for those who become Muslim, alhamdulillah. For those who don't become Muslim, alhamdulillah. Right? And regardless of all that, I hope y'all the best, man. You know? I don't wish nothing bad on nobody. I don't hate nobody. You know what I'm saying? If I hated somebody, then I hate what Allah created. So, what does that say? How can I hate something that Allah created? Everything that Allah created is beautiful. Humans, earth, plants, animals. Everything that Allah created is beautiful. You want the proof that Allah exists? Look around you. Allah exists. And for all those who say, woe is me on the good and bad, guess what? It's called the qadar of Allah. The qadar of Allah is good and bad. The predestination, right? Divine decree of Allah, good and bad. Right? So just like your mother used to tell you, your grandma used to tell you, you got to take the good with the bad. That's life. That's how Allah designed it. That's what it is. Right? Inshallah, for those that become Muslim, alhamdulillah. Those that don't, alhamdulillah. You know what I mean? Inshallah, for all those that are Muslim, inshallah, Allah rectifies our hearts, including myself, allows us to become more obedient, right? I mean, allows us to have strength to refrain from the things that's forbidden. I mean, allows us to have more strength and courage to step out on the edge and do what we're supposed to do as Muslims. I mean, perform that which is wajib and which is mustahab, right? And just for those who don't know, wajib is obligatory, mustahab is highly recommended, right? So allow us, so I mean, inshallah, that we stay away from the things that makrum and haram. Makrum means disliked, haram means forbidden. I mean, and no matter what I've been through, man, I thank Allah for it. My path was rough, but if I didn't take the path, I mean, Allah knows best. Allah knows best if I ever would have became Muslim. But all I know is where I went, what I did, where I became, and all this stuff, and it ended up making me a Muslim. And inshallah, I'll die in no other state other than worshiping Allah as a Muslim. I mean, and the same goes for my Muslim brothers and Muslim sisters. I mean, stay focused. Hopefully y'all the best. That's that, man. I hope, you know what I mean, I did some random stuff, but I hope I gave some type of enlightenment or something. Inshallah, Allah knows best as far as who this reaches or touches. Alright. Alhamdulillah.